Love is Respect is a national teen dating abuse helpline dedicated to ensuring not only the safety of teens in dating relationships, but also making sure that teens are educated on the issues surrounding dating abuse and violence. This presentation intends to give a brief summarization on the epidemic of teen dating abuse. Oftentimes, because teens are unaware of what constitutes being abused, it is hidden or ignored. But there is power in knowing. The best way to avoid is to know. Although once narrowly thought of as involving only physical force, dating violence is now more broadly recognized. Abuse can be physical and can result in death or a severe injury. However, dating abuse also comes in different forms, such as verbal, sexual, and emotional abuse. Dating abuse isn't an argument every once in a while or a bad mood after a bad day. It is a cycle of control, a continuum of behaviors that a person uses to gain power over another. In attempts to form an understanding of the severity of teen dating abuse, numerous studies and research efforts have been conducted. This game of stats pulls from those efforts providing statistics on teen dating violence. The object of the game is to fill in the blanks by guessing which answer goes with which stat. There are 6 answer choices for the 5 questions. All of the answer choices must be used. Studies show that certain populations may be more at risk of being affected by dating abuse. For example, among students experiencing physical dating violence, 14% were black females, 7.5% white females, and 9.2% Hispanic females. These rates are similar for males. However, it is important to understand that although specific populations maintain a higher likelihood, no one is exempt. Dating abuse can happen to anyone of any race, gender, age, sexual orientation, social economic status, level of education, or religion. Some of the normal things for a boyfriend or a girlfriend to say can be abusive in nature. This in turn makes it more difficult to detect an abusive situation. With this in mind, this activity will attempt to provide some common scenarios and statements that may be elicited in teen dating relationships. These statements can be addressed by a male or a female in a heterosexual or same-sex dating relationship. The goal is to be able to detect whether the statement is abusive or not abusive. Once the statement is read, don't think too much. Just say if you think the scenario is abusive or not. In many instances, physical abuse is the most easily detectable, which makes it easier to discern if abuse is occurring. But there are other forms of abuse that may not involve any physical contact. Emotional, verbal, and sexual are all other forms of abuse that can occur in dating relationships. These 3 forms of abuse are most common in teen dating relationships. However, because there is not direct evidence that can define these acts as abuse, they are commonly ignored, which is one of the reasons why teen dating abuse is hidden. With an increased usage of technology, it has become an easy gateway for control. Here are some of the statistics on technology abuse. 19% of teens in relationships say their partner has used a cellular device or the internet to spread rumors about them. Nearly 1 in a relationship communicated with their partner via cell phone or texting hourly between 12 a.m. and 5 a.m. 71% of teens regard boyfriends and girlfriends spreading rumors about them on cell phones and social networking sites as a serious problem. 1 in 3 teens say they are texted 10, 20, 30 times an hour by a partner keeping tabs on them. 68% of teens say boyfriends and girlfriends sharing private or embarrassing pictures and videos on cell phones and computers is a serious problem. 1 in 4 teens in a relationship say they have been called names, harassed, or put down by their partner through phones and texting. 5 forms of technical abuse include digital disrespect, which is bad-mouthing through social networking sites, text messages, IMs, or other forms of technology. Number 2, constant messaging and threatening text messages. Obsessively texting to keep track of whereabouts, asking things like, what are you doing? Who are you with? When are you going home? Holding you on the phone when you are ready to stop talking. Requesting calls and texts when leaving or going places. Threatening is used as a way to manipulate and control situations. Online stalking, number 3, spying and keeping track through social networking pages. Number 4, threatening to share pictures. Sexting, sending sexually suggestive or nude photos through technology, may seem harmless, but it can be used as a form of control when someone threatens to share or expose the images. Number 5, impersonating through social networking. Using someone's username and password to get into their account. Creating fake pages. Adolescents are often pressured to conform to masculine or feminine gender roles that reinforce unequal power and control between dating partners. This is one of the primary factors that enforce the prevalence of dating abuse. Along with the views of gender roles that are instilled in our heads from birth, like pink is for girls and blue is for boys, ideals of romance and love is also depicted. At a young age, it is idealized that the girl is the damsel in distress, like Cinderella, Snow White, and Sleeping Beauty, and the boy is the prince or the hero that must save her. These images not only promote the gender hierarchy, but establish the notion that the boy or the man possesses the control in the relationship. Many times, teens are just beginning to date. Therefore, besides the issues of gender that avidly affect dating, there is a lack of experience and familiarity that teens have with dating, and the peer pressure that acts as a mold for the ways in which teens maintain relationships. Above all, the need for independence tends to influence teens' decision not to talk about an abusive situation with anyone, including friends and family. Unfortunately, there are quite a few myths surrounding the issue of teen dating. This, in turn, makes it hard for teens to tell the difference between a healthy relationship and an abusive, unhealthy relationship. Through this game, we will try to dispel some of these rumors. The object of the game is to identify if the statement is a myth or a fact. Try to answer within a few seconds after reading the statement. Recognizing the early warning signs of an abusive personality gives you the key to avoiding the whole problem. The red flags are there. You just have to know them and recognize them. These are some of the red flags of an abusive personality, but there are many, many more. Evidence suggests that dating violence among adolescents is even more widespread than previously believed and may have serious developmental consequences on victims and survivors. Some common outcomes of dating abuse include depression, suicide, use of use of abusive substances such as alcohol, tobacco, or illegal drugs, eating disorders, and low self-esteem. It is also common for an abused person to take responsibility, to accept blame for abuse, and feel like a failure for not being able to keep the relationship happy. Victims may also seem generally numb or without affect. In many instances, the victims begin to identify as being confused, crazy, shamed, or embarrassed. Although they have the tendency not to focus on or even recognize their own needs, feelings, feelings of failure for not being able to keep the relationship happy, and feelings of disconnection from others is common. Many teens who have been victims of unhealthy or abusive relationships give up all social and school activities that do not involve the abuser. They need constant validation and reassurance. All in all, teen victims of physical dating violence are more likely than their non-abuse peers to engage in risky behaviors and attempt or consider suicide. Relationships are never perfect. Maintaining a strong one takes some work by both people. It's not always easy, but it shouldn't feel like a chore or a job. This reel displays some of the relationship basics that act as the basis for a healthy, safe, and happy relationship. Remember that a relationship consists of two people. Both should always feel like an equal in the relationship and feel free to speak their mind. And it's not just about making sure you get your say, it's also about letting your partner know you're listening. It's likely that arguments will happen from time to time and that you will disagree. That is normal. But how you choose to deal with your disagreements is what really counts. At the end of the day, you should feel happy, not only in your relationship, but also with what you're getting out of and putting into it. Being aware of your own feelings and those of your partners is a big part of making any relationship work. These are examples of the Teen Dating Bill of Rights. You have the right to always be treated with respect. You have the right to not be hurt physically or emotionally, to be in a healthy relationship. You have the right to have friends and activities apart from your boyfriend or girlfriend. You have the right to refuse sex or affection anytime. And you have the right to end a relationship. Thank you for watching and listening to this presentation. If you have questions or concerns, please talk to someone. The Texas Virtual Academy counselor is always available for you. Also note the hotline information for Love is Respect at the bottom of this slide. Thank you and have a good day.